Hello and welcome to Minidisc TV. I'm your host Lachlan, and today, to kick off the channel, we're going to be looking at the new Audio-Technica ATH-M60x, and we'll be comparing it to its siblings, the Audio-Technica ATH-M50x and the ATH-M70x. So I'll tell you right off the bat that there's a lot of things to get excited about with the M60x. This is a monitoring headphone that uses the same drivers as the M50x, but in a new on-ear design. But I think to start off with, we'll have an overview of the M50x and the M70x so we know where we're coming from. So here at Minidisc, we've sold a lot of M50xs. They're a very popular headphone, and for a lot of people, this is their first quality headphone. They have a very direct, energetic sound with a lot of detail and emphasis in the bass and the treble regions. And as a result, not everyone loves the sound of the M50x because it can sound quite harsh and sibilant with bad recordings. But it does sound the way it does because it was designed for studio monitoring. So it's important for producers and musicians to be able to hear distortion or sibilance in their mix. And honestly, for 200 Australian dollars, there's not that many headphones which are as durable, that fold up into a nice convenient shape, and that offers such a detailed sound, even though it's not always the most relaxing headphone to listen to. The M70x in comparison is like the M50x grew up and started wearing fancier suits. So it's got a premium metal build. It doesn't fold up, but it still folds flat, and it comes with a really nice carrying case. And in terms of sound, it's got less emphasis on the bass regions and more emphasis on the high frequencies. So it sounds very, very detailed, and to my ears, it's the closest to that kind of ideal flat, critical listening kind of studio monitor response. So again, it's not the most fun headphone to listen to for casual music listening, but this is the kind of headphone that will let you dissect music and really hear what's going on. So here's the new M60x. Where does it fit in the lineup? Well, the first thing you have to know is that the M60x is an on-ear headphone design. The earpads are designed to sit on your ears rather than around the ears like they do with the M50 or the M70. Now, luckily, the earpads are still really thick and plush, and the headphone itself is quite lightweight, so they're still very, very comfortable, especially for an on-ear design. But be aware, especially if you wear glasses, that you might find that the way the headphone presses against your ears, you might feel a pinch where your ears rest against the glasses frames. Now, this is probably worse on thicker glasses frames, like the ones that I'm wearing now. But for instance, yesterday I wore these for 4 hours with glasses with thinner frames, and I didn't have a problem. Now, the M60x has a compact and lightweight design that's clearly intended for field monitoring, similar to a design like the Sennheiser HD25. It doesn't fold flat or fold up in any way compared to the M50 or the M70, so you should be aware of that. Most of the key parts have been made of metal to enhance durability, and the rest has been made of high quality plastic. Like the M50 and the M70, it comes with 3 sets of cables, a 1.2 meter straight cable for mobile use, and also a 3 meter straight cable and a 1.2 meter coiled cable, so you can use it in a studio or at home. And now we get to the good bit, which is sound. And I'm happy to say that the M60x is, for me, my favorite out of the M series headphones that I've heard. It uses the same drivers as the M50x, so it actually sounds kind of similar, but there are some key differences. Notably, in the high frequencies, there's still a lot of high frequency emphasis and detail, but it doesn't quite pick up as many sibilants as the M50x, so it's a little more relaxing to listen to. And in the low end, even though it's not quite as tight and punchy as the M50x is, the trade-off is that it's smoother and has more lower mid richness. So it's just a bit more full, a bit more relaxing to listen to. So for casual music listening, this is my pick of the 3 by far. Now, the M60x is still an aggressive, direct sounding headphone because it has more emphasis overall in the bass and the treble regions and a de-emphasis in the vocal regions. And if you want something with rich, full vocals, I would look more at something like the Audio-Technica ATH-M60x. In terms of getting a flat, critical listening response, I would still feel safer monitoring with the R70X or the M70X. But with the M60X, you get a sound that is suited for casual listening without being too harsh. It's a lot of fun to listen to, and at the same time it offers enough detail and has a nice compact form with enough isolation that I would be very happy to use this for field monitoring, that kind of monitoring application on the go. So you can check out the video description for links, and you can ask us any questions in the comments. You can also drop in and have a demo for yourself. This is Lachlan from Minidisc TV. See ya.